Hey guys, and welcome to Flames of War for the Win, the Vietnam edition. So, final episode. We've been getting our butt kicked.
They've been trying.
We're surrounded. What has happened? If you haven't watched, really you should have been watching, but if you haven't watched, there was a village. We had a crashed Huey in the village. We'd lost our guys. We don't leave anybody behind. We're going in to get them. We went in. We vigorously interrogated some Viet Cong. They've disappeared. I feel vindicated, really. I felt we won the game at that point. Anyway, we very rapidly ended up getting surrounded. And a bunch of guys popped up out of holes and scared us for a moment until we unleashed the template of death upon them. But we didn't realize that we killed too many of them, and they ended up off the board and then able to come immediately back on the board. Which has left us in this scenario where we have a million guys here, and they even moved the objective on us, which we thought we had fairly well covered. They've moved the objective away from us. So now we're stuck out here, and the only thing that I can think of, I've got a tune in my head. Dun, 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 dun. Come on. There's got to be a way we can go totally apocalypse now on this.
Yeah, we can.
I knew it! I knew it! Right, so what's our options? I want to air vac these guys out and I want to nuke the place. I hear there's no napalm in this game, is that correct?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
So
I want the nearest thing to napalm. Okay, I want to get them out and I want to napalm everything.
So do I. So the first thing we're going to do is try and get our guys out. So just like we kind of landed them in at the start, we can bring in our slicks.
Cool.
And,
so let's
move them back over and literally kind of set these guys up. As long as the choppers are close enough to the guys and far enough away from the Viet Cong, they'll sit there, they'll wait. What they do as soon as they've landed though is they have 2 machine guns, 1 on each side. So having sat down like this, you can actually have each chopper shoot 2 heavy machine guns.
Oh, class.
But the trick is they actually have to shoot 2 different squads, 1 to the squad to the right and 1 on the squad. So there would be a general pasting of the VC at this point, which would be fun.
Okay, cool.
Just a covering fire. What we've then got, because you've always got helicopter reinforcements even, is we have 2 more heavy hogs. And we've got some
do
Cobras.
these guys have to stand there for a turn, or do they immediately embark?
Like they did when they arrived, they have to wait there, checking everything out, making sure the helicopters are down, and then they literally pack up and fly off at the start of the next turn. Okay,
the other thing we have is we have 1 Loach there, and we do have, by the power of magnificence, another Loach. So I like these guys because these guys make it easier for us to kill stuff.
Yeah, they do.
So do we fly them about now? Or?
Yeah, so the helicopters, they can move as far as they want just to get close enough within 6 inches of whatever it is you want to.
So if I put him there,
and
then I get this guy here and he's going, and I put him there.
Exactly. So if we've got guys spotting over here, we're going to need something on these guys. We're also going to need something else over there. So if you bring the Cobras on.
There's a lot of guys over there.
There are a lot of guys now.
Okay, right. So we want to deal with these guys. Well, we'll come to the objective in a minute.
Yep.
I want to do these guys. I mean, I really want to do these guys. Okay, so what have we got?
Okay.
If only we had 2 more of those big hog things with the.
We do. So
of course we do. Okay, so I've got these here. They have come on, and they arrive like that. This is so apocalypse now, right now. Look how many choppers we're getting on the table now, guys.
And there were the Cobras, so we've got more.
Oh, we've got, that's true. We've got Cobras as well. Now, Cobras are cool because these things are like Apache-looking things. And they come on, and they're like that. Is that fair enough?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to have to film this, guys. I'm going to have to film this.
Good.
So, right, over here, we have our Hueys. They have landed in, and our guys are about to embark because they know death is coming from the skies. We've landed our Loaches, and our Loaches have landed here with this kind of group beside the objective, and here with this mass approaching army of death. We had more hogs that have come over there, and they're about to put the paint on, and we have these cool looking cobras, which basically were the granddaddies of the Apaches, and they're coming on to put the death over here. So I think that would have been the movement phase pretty much over.
Yep.
Unless we've got another 15 helicopters we can just bring on.
For the first time, you made it feel inadequate for not having enough helicopters.
Okay. I still think we've done the so I'm seeing it right. So what do we do now? Please tell me big template.
Okay, so what we should do is, we've seen these guys before, so it's kind of a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Each of these can like literally fire all of its rockets at one go, and use that devastating bombardment. It's just like the one you get from regular Flames of War, but it's quite tricky to get in regular games. I'd like the idea that effectively in 2 turns we've brought down 4 of these things.
Yeah.
So each of those choppers can fire that once and pancake a whole load.
Does it have to stay in one place, or can one of them fire it there and then another one fire it there?
Each chopper fires individually, so as long as the
so I can move it.
Absolutely. So after having blown up a load of guys with the first chopper, you can target the survivors with the other one. They've also got
lovely
other guns to shoot the survivors.
Yeah, because they've underslung grenade launchers and stuff like that as well. So I can pretty much feel safe in the knowledge that we're going to paste whatever's there.
There's going to be some damage done.
Okay, excellent. What about here then? Because these Cobras look cool, but are they as deadly as they look?
These have far better guns attached to them. So the actual machine guns, they've effectively got 2 chin-mounted weapons. You've got a choice there. Mini-guns, grenade launchers, quite an array of weaponry. But they also have rockets, which is nice. Each one of these guys can fire itself
for an American player.
Yeah.
So each one of these guys can fire, a regular bombardment. So if I take this one from you for the moment, and you get your little bombardment.
Okay, I'll give you the big one, and I will go on. Did you just tell me to get my little one out? Hey, right, okay. Wherever I've put it.
Oh, I have it.
There we go.
I thought I'd steal it, so you couldn't possibly use it.
So each of the Cobras can effectively fire one of those each.
So they can basically put that kind of down like that. So one there and one there. I could destroy pretty much that unit using that approach.
Although we can chain fire with these guys, so you could, if you wanted to, fire all of that at the same unit and,
put the pie plate down.
Try getting everyone that was left that, survived the first one. So in this case, you might want to use the 2 smaller ones. If you might get more people, you could obviously blast them all with the bigger one, depending on, well, how big you want the bombs to be.
So you have options.
Gents, that is epic. Absolutely epic.
What it's saying is the demonstration of American firepower from helicopters.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's horrific.
Now, at this stage, you might be thinking this is completely overpowered. And do you know what? You're right. It is. However, the rules that, unlike other war games, what constitutes a victory is slightly different in this game, isn't it? Because for the Viet Cong, or for the Vietnamese, how they win is not necessarily the same as the way the Americans win. It's balanced out that way, isn't it?
Yeah, you have a battle point system. So you get a number of points to how many units or companies you take out.
Yeah.
And then you basically have did you win by this many battle points or this many? And then you consult the table, and then that will give you your 4-3, 5-2, 6-1s, even 7-0s.
Yeah.
So, the Americans can win 7-0.
Yeah.
If they want to, because they just destroy everything. And you can see how easy it is.
Yeah.
It's hard work for the North Vietnamese.
Yeah.
But we can stand knowing we won.
Yes. Yeah, so even though you can get a bunch of stuff killed, you actually...
We have the moral victory.
Yeah.
In some of these games, if they had survived all this, remember we lost the objective. So if that was turn 6, some of the objectives actually have rules where you need to have troops within a certain distance of objectives.
Yeah, so even though we could have killed everything,
they might still.
And how amazingly satisfying is that? we could still have lost the game.
Yeah. So the little VC guys that can move objectives, that's where they come into play. So even though it looks like we've maimed all of them, they might sneak a little win out of the bag simply by playing cleverly with the special rules that the VC have.
Right, guys. I was sold before. I'm even more sold now because, you know, obviously what we've seen there is just a walkthrough or to try and get to grips with the kinds of things that can happen in this game. But what we haven't seen are tanks, armored personnel carriers, all these other things that were there in the Vietnam conflict, and all machinery that, let's be honest, is light years ahead of what was available in World War II. You know, the kinds of tanks and APCs and weaponry that was available during the Vietnam conflict was just so far in advance of what was available in World War II. There's just so much more to explore here because, like we've joked during the week about having 33 T-54s, and having
29 ACAVs.
and 29 ACAVs, and seeing how that. But there are so many options to try and balance here.
Yeah, I mean the American players, they can effectively have lots of artillery, and them not even feature on the table at all because they're safely protected in their base, and you've got your guys spotting to try and lay down templates onto the enemy soldiers. So there's, for whatever style of game you want to play, there is an army in the book for you. You know, if you want to go pure out infantry, you can go infantry.
Yeah.
If you're like Alex and you love your helicopters, you're going to take lots of helicopters.
Me and you, mate.
Okay.
Me and you, we love the choppers.
If you're like me and you want reluctant trained troops bombing around the jungle in 113s, you're going to take the AVN cavalry.
Yeah.
If you really want a challenge, where you know you've got the moral victory every time you play, you're going to play the PVAN.
Yeah.
There's something in there for
you guys at Chelmsford Bunker have been playing this for a while. You've been doing loads of demos and stuff like that. Is there kind of any hot tips that you guys have for what makes a fun game of Vietnam? Because, you know, nobody wants to play in a game that is completely one-sided. So has there been tweaks or kind of scenarios and things that you guys have been playing to change things up?
No, I love it with the choppers and winning. So the main rulebook, the Tour of Duty book, comes with a number of different scenarios in it, and I think part of the work's already done in that you need to have certain types of formations to play certain missions. So some of the air mobile ones where you have to have troops in choppers, they state that. So one of the things we've found that works really well is almost suggesting we will play a specific scenario, and it helps you balance the forces against each other without obviously writing forces together. The other way is you don't have to take all the choppers.
But you would. Well, the interesting thing about this for me is just how narrative it is. Now, I know that we've just played kind of a walkthrough without rolling dice, but I think the very fact that this game doesn't have a defined front line just makes the narrative aspect of it so much stronger, because it doesn't feel like two forces coming against each other. You're having to move around. You know, you're things like the little interrogation. It's just a lovely little touch. You know, it's
for me as well. Flames of War. You know, a lot of people go, hey, 1750 point armies. It's big armies, lots of tanks, lots of infantry.
Yeah.
The great thing with Tour of Duty is, you as an American player, you can play with 500 points.
Yeah.
And allow the PVAN guy to have 1,000 points.
Yeah.
And he's still got enough going for him in terms of firepower and helicopters that he still gets a challenge of a game. But you can write story scenarios like what we've done here, where we try to capture, try to rescue the downed airmen.
Yeah.
You know, and if you think about all the imagery that's out there in films and in books, you can do wonderful narrative campaigns with Tour of Duty in it, and the book's set up perfectly for it. You know, there's 9 different missions in there, but you can also do the missions from the main Flames of War rulebook. Yeah. So you can encompass all those together, and you can give yourself lots of different gaming experiences to what you want to do.
Well, you know, I often talk about in Flames of War for the Win how influenced I am by movies.
Yeah.
because I'm not much of a historical guy. I'm not much of a bookworm, to be honest, but I do love my movies, and so a lot of my gaming is influenced by that. Yeah. But even in this walkthrough, the number of movie moments that I've been able to recapture and on this gaming table has been nothing normal. You know, the guys deploying off Hueys, you know, going up to locals, interrogating them disappearing, ending up surrounded, bringing in a big air attack, and then whisking guys out from Hueys as little guys are trailing off a Huey to try and move it away to rescue whatever or keep whatever's on board of it, to our ultimate apocalypse now moment at the end where all the choppers are all coming on and laying down unbelievable fire. Yeah. It's like, do you know what? It's a game that if you play with your opponent rather than against your opponent, I'm sure it'll work perfectly well to play against your opponent. I'm just not so massively into that. But it's a game that if you play with your opponent, I think this would just be the most fun. And I cannot wait to get Dave's shoulder in and get a game of Vietnam with him.
Yeah, we'll set you up a campaign.
Do you know what? I'm going to take you up on that. Well, guys, that's it for the moment for Flames of War for the Win Vietnam Week. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's given you a basic insight into the game because you've maybe seen us reporting on it and covering on it and wondered to yourself, yeah, but what's it about? How does it work? Hopefully, that gives you a kind of a high-level overview of what makes this game different from the other games that you're maybe playing out there. As I've said all along, if you want to get a question or something answered, get it in the comments below, and we will do our best to get it answered, and we will be remaining in communication with the guys at Battlefront, and we'll try and feed back as much as we can. Other than that, we hope you've enjoyed it. I'm still gloating about this template, man. I'm going to go and get myself one of these and get it framed and put up on in the Beasts of War Hall of Fame here. It's been fantastic. I've enjoyed it. Guys, stay tuned, and I'm absolutely certain that this won't be the last that we see of Vietnam coverage on Beasts of War. Finally, I'd like to thank my magnificent guests, Gareth from Battlefront, and Andrew and Alex, the amazingly good-looking Alex, who we've put to the front, so as you can all admire this man, from Chelmsford Bunker. If you're a club or whatever and you'd like to get involved with Beasts of War, please remember to just drop us an email to warren@beastsofwar.com or ben@beastsofwar.com, because we'd love to reach out to you guys, clubs all over the world. So get in touch with us, and if there's anything that we can be doing to help you, just let us know. Guys, thanks for watching. It's been amazing. We'll see you soon.